Stuff that you gotta look at upside down in here.
Yes.
That's only
Yes.
clawback.
No.
Ah.
That's all right. I learn a lot upside down. That's why
Oh,
all my
okay.
paintings.
You come around here if you want
That's
to.
why all my paintings are done upside down.
Okay, now, this is Larry Kesso. I want to welcome you back to my studio again. We're getting ready to do a watercolor scene here. I really took a long time on planning this one. I took 11 minutes tonight instead of just 10. But I have something in mind that I want to do with it. And come on up closer, man, where you can see what we're doing. Now this is one
Yeah,
that,
come on.
as all of you know, symphony time comes around every year. And they always let me know at the last minute, which they probably know that's what I like, because I wouldn't do it till the last minute anyhow. But as some of y'all have seen, a lot of times I've done my best work in these situations, and I like that. In fact, I've done my best work twice a lot of times. Remember,
That's right.
we do one I like so much I didn't want to give it away, man, so I just did another one. Okay, so what we're going to do, we're trying to create something here that is going to,
That's hot press 300 pounds. Huh?
that's our cold press,
Nice
Joe.
cold press.
I went with
Yeah,
the
I
cold
see.
press this time.
Get a little-
Now, I've been using my I call these studies, and I'm really enjoying what I can do with 5 colors, but I find that when I get certain purple ranges, you need that alizarin crimson.
Yeah,
But I'm going to use my basic palette of the Hooker's green, ultramarine blue, cadmium red, cadmium yellow, burnt sienna, and I'll use a little white if I need to highlight things and whatever. Now, maybe if I'd have had a little bit more time, I would have I'd have gone in and maybe showed the pole and then a nice arch around here over into the lily pads. But by the same token, it's kind of hard to do that. Now I showed y'all a thing that John Clifford came up where he takes a ruling pen and he puts the misket in the ruling pen and he gets a fine line and he draws that circle around like that, or he did like fine lines on a sailboat and man paint the sky and pull them up and it was just perfect. And so anyhow, what I have in mind, I'm not going to use this composition literally. I have 2 ways that I could approach this. I have to show you the picture that I'm working from here. I won't zoom it in, but for everybody else's benefit, let's see, I can bring it in a little bit like this. What I've got is a fly fisherman here. This will look bigger on a bigger screen. And I've got this darker section over here, and let's just turn it around because I think this will be easy if everybody sees it. I have a darker section over here, and I've already done this in my mind. I have an L shape, and what I want with the Chiaroscuro, I want that light coming in this direction, and I'm going to have this really a lot of brilliant light coming in behind here, and then as well as the darks, and then as it gets over here, I'll let it fade out, getting darker and darker, and then I'm going to have I'll have the rod coming across here and hitting in the lily pads and splashing a little bit like that. Okay? Sounds like a good idea, but I don't think I'm gonna pull this one off, man. I think I really went over.
Put a couple of
Board.
turkeys
You
in
may have to give him 20 minutes on this one.
there. Yeah.
No, but again, I have this on videotape. I shouldn't be saying things like that because if it doesn't come out good, then I just say, well, it was just a sketch.
Yeah,
Anyhow, it
just a
doesn't really
sketch.
matter. All right, now let's start with
Color study.
a little bit of the our alizarin crimson and whoop, and then put the cadmium doesn't give you quite that violet look that I like.
Yeah, that's pretty.
Let's come back over here like this. Okay, so the first thing, well, actually, I could have done that dryly and then wet the paper down, but it doesn't make any difference. I'm gonna still do this.
Our color serum.
Yeah.
Okay, now if you have any, just the slightest thought of, in any kind of way that I know what I'm doing, I don't want to disappoint you because I honestly, but that's the fun of it.
He's got beacons in
I don't think-
make too many
I don't think that,
that.
I don't think that came out on the video. Really. That's not worth repeating either. All right, Sarah.
Oh, I wasn't laughing at you.
See,
Way to go, Sarah.
see now, see,
You
I,
got in trouble.
I'm gonna start calling-
Turkey feathers growing on her. Don't you do like that?
I'm gonna start calling the other Sarah Sweet Sarah, because if she was here,
No.
she would not be siding with him.
She, I'm not
You get in
sure.
trouble for being silent even, don't
I
you?
do. I do.
Not a sweet Sarah.
Now, I may lose all of this before it's all over, so I'm not worried, but I just want hints
So
of it. If I
much
do, I'll
fun.
go back and,
It is so much fun.
in fact, I know what I should have done on this thing. Now, I'm gonna come back and do something else. But all right, let's come in, take a little bit of our burnt sienna, a little cadmium yellow. Okay, and let's start right in front of him here.
Great.
I want to come in. I really want to highlight this.
Those are happy colors, Joe.
Mm-hmm. I love it.
Okay.
Picture
Now
of
remember, everything is flowing this way, and I want the tree standing up and the man vertically against this. Now, because of where he's at, now let's come on this side, and I'm going to pick up a little bit more of this over here. In fact, I'm going to get really light and bright as it gets back here, because I want this to, I'm going to let this almost be brilliant white when it gets back here. All right, now I'm going to come over this just a little bit. This is not what I intend. Now notice I've got a really dark line at the base of that, so I didn't worry about misting it. Now I like this yellow, but I also like my little burnt sienna
Yeah.
mixture in there too.
Picture without burnt siennas.
Okay.
That's what I always say.
I'm
You
missing
always
burnt
say-
sienna picture. It's just,
I mean, you learn some stuff
Wow.
on these
why
impromptu.
bother? Is that right? Just pack up and go home.
Actually, I'm probably not going to go with that, but that's all right. Now, let's come up here. I'm not going to
Change
keep
the
it.
rules in the middle of it.
Well, you have to. So, I mean, there are no rules. Now, what you depend upon is for the really, really strong darks to tie it all together, okay? So just, some people give up on me too fast. They've been
Yeah.
doing it forever, and it's the way
I
it
admit
goes.
I
you
didn't
know.
last as long as usual tonight.
I tell you what, I just, of all the things that I did in my training, man, I don't give anything.
They didn't prepare you for that. huh?
No, wait a minute. No, my greatest training was that last year on Jackson Square, man. I tell you what, that's when I learned how I could deal with stuff like this.
Well, Larry, I have to admit that I had to repent after I saw your barn door finished.
Yeah, well, that's okay.
Because when you started,
I
I was
understand.
You
I
thought,
don't-
it's
yeah.
not gonna happen.
It's not gonna happen.
Yeah, but you kept it to yourself. You're not like some people, you know. I mean, you let me suffer silently. No, this is just, now see, again, who knows, man, we don't, how much time? Oh, 15, oh man, 15 minutes. Okay, now, see what I want to do is I want to get enough little happy stuff going on in here, okay? Well, see that burnt sienna, the only thing bad about it, it's a color that really loses its density real quick.
I does.
So I'm gonna come in and maybe put a little bit more into here, because I like that little highlight. Joe's reaction to it, man. You know, when Joe reacts like that, I'll listen.
Good stuff.
It's happening.
That's a hat.
Okay. Now, I just gotta make sure it stays wet, get enough stuff on here. So, and while this is all drying a little bit, this is gonna help me out. Okay. Now, that's enough for right now. I'm gonna take that green, that burnt sienna, and that blue,
I think you make
and we're gonna get serious.
Oh, that's some serious
All right, now the
stuff.
first thing I'm gonna do,
Dave.
We're cringing.
I did.
Good thing it doesn't pan against the audience, huh, Joe?
But you know, when we look at those art shows and we see what people who have not had training in darks, those things just stand out.
they're just so
I
anemic.
mean, they just, I just,
Some of them pretty anemic.
I just cannot get over
Yeah.
how watery they are, weak.
Well, I mean, they're, and it's unfortunate because there are people that never go levels beyond that, you know, and it's, I mean, teachers and artists, and I know what a lot of it is, but because I'm gonna tell you, the one thing I've learned, you know, when you stand and you look up at the old masters, I mean, and you start doing the kind of things that we've been doing, all of us. I mean, we're kind of on sacred ground as far as I'm concerned, because what I did was I rediscovered through this Chiaroscuro, and it's not just me, everybody's doing it now. I rediscovered what was one of the most important things that was lost, like so many things are lost. And that was your lighting, and the importance of lighting and all the things. So we find it's light, dark, it's all of it. And the biggest thing I think I've learned in all of this is the fact that people
It's fall.
probably want his money back.
That's right.
What I'm
Here's
doing.
your hand.
What's a painting without a little red in it?
But the biggest thing that I've gleaned from all of this is the fact that all of us like to get in comfort zones, and all of us like to stay where we are. Once we get something, we reach a certain plateau. You have to fight. You have to really fight yourself to break out of that. And I'm saying yours truly and so forth. This is not just being critical of any person or anything like that. And what happens with these people is they get to. That's why all the books are filled with that kind of stuff. Other than what we get in that book, those books that are coming out of that magazine that we get. But the rest of the books, I mean, and I'm not going to mention any names, but even the really supposed well-known watercolorists, that are most popular, locally and otherwise. They haven't changed that. They haven't changed anything that they do. That in 25 years, and man, my kids are ahead of them by the third series. I hate to say it like that, but so many people did it. Because what happens is you find something that works, and you decide that you're going to stay in a predictable range, and that's where they stay, and they never go beyond that. And
Probably has
so
something to do with finances.
how's that? Well,
But it's
I mean
selling.
that could be it. I mean, you never know what all. But I think a lot of it is just. It really is where's your passion, And so. But I mean, people put books out to do whatever, and there's nothing any different. And everybody that takes from them and whatever, they all do the same thing, and they all look the same. And that's not to be critical, but there's just more to it. And what I love about what happens here in my situation is that none of us, including yours truly, ever rest. I mean, we just keep pushing and looking for new things, and they're out there. Right now, I'm looking for a safe place to land.
Trying to figure out where he's going.
Talking about all this creating stuff, man. Why didn't I quit while I was ahead?
I kind of like those little sticks that were sticking up out there for trees. Helen has contractors working in her house all day
Yeah.
today. She was going to try to make it, but she was pooped.
Yeah.
Been running around trying to get stuff to keep them going.
Oh man, I tell you what.
Well, she's remodeling inside and out.
Yeah,
Oh, bless her heart.
Well, it's
Yeah,
a
a lot of-
disaster
Yeah,
area
she
around
did.
there right now.
I bet it
Yeah,
is.
she can do it all at once.
Harry, is there a book that Chiaroscuro, is there a book we can get?
No.
You'll have to
Be in
write
mine.
one.
When Larry's comes out, it will be.
Yeah.
You know.
Oh, Larry's going to.
But see, the thing about what I love about this is that we're not even touching the hem of the garment as to what this stuff is all about. I mean, I got stuff. Lady brought me this book back from Spain. I'm reading, man, with a lot of this stuff. They have museums over there with nothing but that work, and the people know it. They grow up with it. The artists know it, and they are committed realists over there. They don't they don't have any tolerance for what you would call abstract. This abstract. Excuse me, for the crap. I mean, for the stuff that.
We know what you mean.
I think you said that on purpose.
We know what you mean.
It was the Flaudian slip.
Yeah.
We better get
Deep within your
heard it
subconscious.
by the grapevine.
Yeah.
Cherie, I think we've seen it first tonight. It's
Ah,
a new
yeah.
level, all right.
I'd be a little reluctant to say that.
I wouldn't.
We've seen him come close before. Going
You
out.
what?
He has a vision, Joe.
Yeah, he must. I think he's having
I'll tell you what I need to
It's a
do.
mad vision.
I need to cut that other nonsense out and just cover this like I'm doing it. And then I'll show you what we're gonna do on this. Because what's happening right now, it's starting to draw on me a lot. I mean, this was, I hope nobody thinks this was a serious painting.
Well, I have to admit
I mean, this, I mean, can't y'all tell when I'm playing around? And just,
Can we take a joke?
yeah.
for about the first 30 seconds, I thought it was serious.
Where's April Booth when you need it, huh?
That's right.
Gotcha! This is a candy camera hiding behind here somewhere.
Okay, I know what I'm gonna do.
That's a tough critic,
Yeah.
Tell you what, you're looking at two of them. The toughest.
Yeah, they've been immortalized in paintings, man.
Okay, we don't,
That's right.
Yeah, I'm
don't
gonna go
scare the
in.
new people off.
First thing you know, it'd be a couple of turkeys that flying.
Flying
by.
through, that's what it
Yeah.
is. Sarah, though, I don't know, she's showing her feathers tonight.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
She's not, hey, don't y'all put Sarah in
Yeah,
that category. Okay. Bruce, where are you when I need you, man?
Yeah.
Well, Bruce, it's too
I'm a
late.
cheerleader.
It's too late, Bruce.
Not the same.
Screw this piece of paper up, at least on this side.
The real pain's on the other side, he's just teasing.
I think if you put a dead armadillo down there, it'd help.
That's right.
In his backpack,
I
the
think
in
what-
the backpack.
You've heard of roadkill, a little
He
small
would be
kill.
a nutria, there you
That's
go.
right. Dead alligator.
Oh, man, I've still got 8 minutes.
Oh,
Shoot. Give me a break.
Take it to fifth, Bruce.
I've never seen Bruce
Bruce
cry that
is speechless.
First time I've seen a grown man cry.
Hey, let me tell you something. If your wife can try to paint Joe like it,
Oh, I have to admit,
I can try something like this.
the chief of all turkeys.
It's not easy when you having to figure this stuff along as you go along and the paper's wet.
Do you think cold press dries faster than the hot press?
Oh, no, hot press definitely dries a lot faster.
Yeah, it doesn't sink in.
Okay.
All right, here comes the pretty.
What's the palette? I might,
Secondary palette, uh-oh.
Old secondary palette trick.
This is where the magic is in there.
Actually, I'm starting to see some potential in there.
You're missing a masterpiece, Casey. You better come watch the evolution.
Just putting that
Go
right
in there.
right down.
He does.
Squeeze in.
He does.
He's
know.
coming off, isn't he?
Yeah,
Well-
he is. There's no
I
doubt.
can tell
I've
already.
been watching him do this a long
Tell you what.
time. He always does.
well, don't count on that now.
Now you get too much.
But I'll tell you something.
The bread almost killed him.
Don't forget what Yogi Bear says, his famous quote.
Hey,
It ain't over, brother.
We still got paint.
Wait, no, more famous than Yogi Bear. The chicken painter,
There.
Yeah.
Yogi Bear.
Still got paint?
More famous than Yogi Bear.
It's never over till you run out of paint? Is
That's
that
exactly right, man. As long as you got paint in your palette, there's hope.
There's always hope.
Excuse me.
It's been very encouraging words
That's
to me
kinda like-
personally.
I
He
used
has
to
been an open
know
can,
somebody
that's
that
what
said, you never lost until you run out of gas or money.
I like that. Have to run out of both.
Well, I remember when I was a new lieutenant and I was running the firing range and I had this big bullhorn and I had all these guys down there firing on the range and everything, and boy, I'm just as proud, put out over the PA system there. I said, when you run out of ammunition, quit firing. And boy, I tell you what, I think everybody gave me the horse laugh. It's about all you could do. So you gotta say, what else could we do?
Brilliant, Hunter.
Well, I've had my brilliant moments.
That's all right.
I'm learning right now because I didn't know that you could go over really dark colors with light colors and watercolor.
Okay.
I didn't think that would work.
Well, a lot of times it doesn't. You have to be the right person to do it.
I didn't need to hear that.
Right person
I
to
just
do
said I'm
that.
learning a lot watching
No, I'm
this.
sorry.
Every story doesn't have a happy ending, does it?
That yellow has
Don't
a-
try
it's pretty,
at home.
Yes, right, don't try this.
Mixed with the green.
This is done by.
Somebody go grab me a thing of paint real quick, fresh water, please, if you don't mind.
Fresh water.
If you don't mind, Joe, I appreciate that very much. Now, what I'm hoping to do with this, you know, and you just really never know when you decide to do something like this. You have to remember, I'm setting up everything to have this one light area, almost solid white here, got in a little dark. That's going to be the main emphasis in the picture. And I'm going to have everything down here darker and giving reflections. These are almost just abstract patterns, okay? And all you're going to have is this figure against this dark area, and you're going to see that pole coming up in that line going all across those dark areas. I don't know if it's going to help, but now let's come back in and try a little bit of this real quickly.
Keep your seal on.
Now let's do some of this. Yeah, it's going to look a little funny right now, but as it goes through different stages of drying, I can highlight it and do other things to it.
Don't throw it away. I want to see it.
No matter what.
How dare you say something like that?
And that was your lead supporter there, too.
It's
No,
getting past his
well, I'll tell you what.
bedtime. We're 5 minutes over his bedtime.
My lead supporter was a man of few words tonight. I'm going to be just a couple more minutes because I want to do all this while I know some of you need to leave.
But Cherie, we know it's gonna work.
Oh, he always
Because
does.
it's purple.
Well,
No matter-
don't call
no
me
matter
that.
how much we
And
wait,
that
Sarah. Turns into this beautiful painting, and you say, okay, how'd that happen? Yeah. Yeah.
And what happened after all that?
No, those are pretty in there.
The color scheme was awesome.
We know purple and green.
Well, see, that's exactly the thing that you have to remember. And see, now I'm going to let this go a little bit further, and then I can come back. Because, see, I mean, these are only suggestions, okay? And I just love the, you know, it just depends a lot on how much I can pull off in here. But then I'll come back with just a little bit of the white and the alizarin, and hit and highlight these. You know, there's just so many different things that you can do as you go along. And then I'll define some of the foliage a little bit more. Hey, enjoyed it, Gretch. See y'all next week.
Good night. Good night.
Now we're going to resurrect these right here.
It almost has a mossy look.
Yeah. No, I tell you what, I just been having to get this out of my system, and when I didn't get this note on that thing for the symphony till yesterday. You know, and I thought, well, you know, I'm just going to do this and see. If not, I mean, what am I going to lose? You know, I got time to do another one if I want to. So that's what I love about it, because it's something you feel like you're going to give it away. If it comes out real good, you'll keep it and paint another one. You know.
There's just a little narrow
it's
window of
just-
opportunity there for them to get it.
But I mean, what's another 20 or 30 minutes in your life? You know, to just have the fun of trying something like this.
Make people happy.
Yeah, and I just appreciate you all, you know, and enjoying it and want me to do it and all that kind of good stuff, man, because we just have so much fun with it. And I'll tell you what, y'all been around here long enough to know most of my stuff I pioneered, man. I pioneered on Thursday night. And in spite of a lot of obstacles
Yeah,
and
sure.
things and whatever.
Putting up with people.
Target.
All right, Sarah.
And see what I like when I do this in certain areas now. I've got a certain amount of this, and I know what I want to do real quickly back here.
You got clean water here if you decide you need it.
Now, y'all need me to stop because y'all need to go on. I know somebody needs it. Dawn, I know.
Oh, yes, that's important.
Well, it's my parents, but I like to take advantage of it.
No, listen, Tara.
Good night, Tara.
Good night.
What I'm gonna do here? I'm gonna come in with this solid white. Now, this is,
Wow.
Oh, is that wonderful?
oh, now you see, man, when you look that up on there, oh man, I'm revived.
You know, that's almost like looking in a mirror when you see it from a whole different.
Yeah, and especially what makes it so unique, Sarah, is it's. Joe, we were talking about look at what it looks like on that. Man, I'm not listening to any of that nonsense. No, I'm gonna pull this sucker off.
You are. It's gonna be a masterpiece.
Now, the reason I did that is I'm gonna come in as the last thing here, and I'm gonna put in. Well, listen to it. Listen to this so many times, man. I think. How many times has he had to eat crow?
It doesn't seem to bother him.
No.
He's probably developed a taste for it.
I haven't seen any humbling take place.
That's exactly right.
No
Oh, now
mercy.
look
Yeah,
at
it's
that.
his
I'm
motto.
getting that little bit of. I think this thing just might work, man.
I think it has a.
Because see, again, I can go back in if I find the overall. So I want to get it all covered, and then if it looks like it's going to work, do something, I'll go back in and refine areas and pull areas out with white paint. Because I already pretty well decided I didn't want to go through all the trouble of trying to make this a transparent watercolor. I purposely planned it to be this.
Has very spontaneous look.
That's a fact.
She's so diplomatic. Look at this. So Sarah's giving us lessons in diplomacy.
Is she really?
Okay.
No, she is.
She's very diplomatic.
Yeah.
Yeah, Pat and Sarah.
What did that do?
When you said diplomatic, I said, yeah, Pat Raines, like,
Yeah.
it's
I'll tell you what, he never has met Bob, has he?
You would think Pat was just absolutely wonderful.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, who she has to live with.
Okay.
They're as different as day and
Now
night.
some of this I might put in when it gets a little bit dark. All right, let's see what we're gonna. Let's do
Oh,
one
I
more.
knew it was coming. I was waiting.
Oh yeah. Let's see where we're at now. If we can.
That is so fun. Look at that. Come see Casey what he's doing. He's
Now
using
that's
an X-Acto
that
blade on the
smooth
side.
paper.
No, this is the cold
Pulls the
press.
lights out.
Okay.
No, the smooth I didn't
So
use
that's
because
the
it would have
rough
never
thing.
stayed.
Okay.
Now you see how I'm
okay,
gonna
that's
start.
what confused
Yeah.
me from the beginning. I
No,
thought you had
that's
to
cold
smooth.
press.
Okay.
See, I'm making a little bit of that recede in there right now.
Can you see it? What he's doing?
You're giving the woods
He's
all kind of
building
depth.
tree limbs. and
All
woods.
kinds of depth back in there.
But you have to wait for the paper gets just right.
Isn't it wonderful?
Hey, hon, thank you. Good to see you here.
Good night.
See you next week.
All right, Larry. Thank you.
Okay, now, see, I'm gonna show y'all like later. I'm just gonna do one more thing because I think I need to let it dry and then stand back and look at it. But I'm satisfied. I tell you what, I got a mat. If you reach right behind there, you're gonna see a large mat and it's got two little pieces on it.
Right here?
Yeah. Thank you, Sheree. But I'm gonna show y'all one thing real quick before we go. Now, if you didn't mind helping me hold this up a little bit. See, you gotta put this on it, man.
Look at that.
You gotta see it.
He's showing off, come see.
Look, isn't that something? Look at
What y'all think?
that. Is,
Oh, it's
I
coming.
think it's wonderful. It's just wonderful.
Now you see what's gonna be the big thing that's gonna happen Okay, let's leave that. Sheree, just let it sit down. It's not gonna affect anything. What you think, Joe? It's
kinda-
got hope?
Oh, it's got
Oh,
hope.
yeah.
I'm gonna get one
Do
of
we
them.
get to see it? You have to turn it in this
Or-
weekend.
Oh, no, I'll finish it next week.
On Thursday.
Well, I might have to
Oh,
work on,
won't
no, I mean, I'll
be.
probably work on it next Thursday and then, finish it up next weekend. I'll just get as much as I can done. Now see what's gonna happen now. And I like doing a little bit of this while it's wet. So now you start pulling in it, and then you can even put, if you wanna really pretty it up, man, put some of that yellow in there with it, get those complementary colors. Look how that starts coming out. And then depending on where it's located, you can come back in.
Yeah, sooner or later, it's gonna be that bright, bright sun coming in on the side. It's gonna.
Have a little bit of this in here, going up the side of it. Look at that. And then I'll put a little bit more detail. And then the big thing is like when I get certain areas with it, I'll have sections where, like, I might have an area like this and decide that I want light foliage to break this up. See, that's what I'll go back in and redefine. And then this area here, I lost a little bit of my burnt sienna. I don't know if I'm going to be able to resurrect that with the white. I may have to get me a little orange from somewhere because that's very difficult to get that burnt sienna to hold its. No, there it is. It's not doing too badly. So I wanted this to be, this is a pretty highlight area that I really liked. I would have liked to have kept that a little bit bigger, but if it does, you just go to plan B. I don't want to lose a lot of that softness in there.
Very pretty.
Sounds good to
We'll
me.
see.
Yay! It's gonna be great.
Yeah, yeah.
Hope y'all enjoyed it.
We did. So much. Thank you.
Okay,
Oh, yeah.
Sheree, when you walk back there, show her where to put it in the back. You got your name on it? Both of you put your name on it.
Bottom.
Well, man, you got a first-hand introduction to watercolor tonight, didn't you? And a lot of other stuff, plus a whole lot of baloney, man.
Before I put mine up, would you check the
I'm gonna come
angle of
look
that
at it.
bottle?
I'm sure gonna come look at it. That's what I plan to do. Man, I tell you what. Hey, Joe.
Yes.
Y'all believe this, all this stuff about not being able to know how to draw, man? I tell you what. I just, now the basic thing you really don't, I mean, you're overcoming a lot of mental obstacles and, your drawing skills are not natural. And I'm very impressed with what you're doing.
Fantastic.
You feel it.
Good night,
Hey,
you
y'all
guys.
have a good trip.
Oh, thank you.
Y'all remember workshops the following weekend down here?
Okay.
Good. So, no, what I'm gonna do. Got everything? Okay. Oh, goodness. Well, what I did is last week after y'all left, I worked about 30 minutes touching up a few of this stuff. Okay, this is for the sake of the video. After class left last week, I worked about 30 minutes on this part of it and touching up just to convince myself that it would work. Like, I wanted to do this one tree. Because if y'all remember, after the tree started fading, I mixed white with the blue and red, and I put this in while it was still wet. And so the only things I did was I did touch up a few places to justify to myself that it was going to work so I could sleep that night. And then I did come in. Now this area right here was probably as dark as all this. So I did come in and I mixed cadmium yellow, green, and white, and I floated this color over the whole area, and then I got lighter, and I got lighter, and I got lighter. And then now I'm taking my photograph, this has never been clear. What I did is I cleared up the back area. Now I'm going to make the trees darker at the top with some foliage, and then as I come down to the dark area down here, I'm going to make the trees with that kind of purple color. Okay? And so this is the pretty critical part of it that I'm going to hit right here. Okay. Go check and see, Joe. No, you might have to put it on 3, Joe. Check and see if Gretchen needs anything real quick, Bruce, while I'm at a break here.
You need help, Gretch? From Larry. He's got a break.
Does she?
She's bringing it in.
Oh, okay. Oh man,
Yeah.
that made all the difference in the world.
What do you need?
I'd still get rid of that white.
Somebody call?
Okay.
I don't care if it's on there or not.
Okay, and what about,
Testing.
is this dark, too dark, too light?
I think you could take this whole thing out under here,
Okay, and then get rid of the white.
Yeah.
Okay.
and that's going to do it.
We're going to pull the old
Okay.
man off yet.
Now, let's go with a little bit of the blue and the red. Yeah, because what I'm going to do, I'm going to finish this thing this weekend one way or the other, and I'm going to go take it to Pam. I just went down there and had them do now what I was going to show y'all, I know I need to make these trees up at the top darker, okay? So what I'm going to do, and a little bit more blue in there, tone that down just a tiny bit. Now see, as it gets into this area down here now, I'm just going to come in and just show it, kind of dry brush. And I'm just going to do one of these trees so we can have a little fun with it and I can find out what I'm really doing, to be honest with you. Now I'm bringing this all the way over here. We'll come back. Now see, I'm making this transition. In fact, I'm going to make all this kind of a lighter color down here. I just want to finish this bottom part. Enough to where I can come in and do the light water and the dark water down here. We'll do those reflections tonight. Y'all get a pretty good idea. Now, a little trick I learned from old Kowski book. You want those old birch trees and all he would have. You could do that kind of thing with it. Now, one other little thing that we can use to, I think, add a little bit more
Drama.
drama to it is to pull that highlight out on the edge there.
Use that magic white.
Yep. It'll do it, boy. See, that little bit I picked out down here really helped it a lot.
You know, that's one thing I liked about John O'Neill. He, I guess we'll not talk about that.
No, that's all right.
But he said whatever works.
That's right.
He uses a lot of acrylic
Yeah.
wash for his white.
Acrylic what?
Wash.
watercolor?
Yeah.
Acrylic
I never heard of
wash.
acrylic
I've got
wash.
a tube of it in there.
It's
And
interesting.
it covers nicely.
On a watercolor.
Yeah. Oh, it covers on anything. He uses it with acrylics mostly.
I never heard of it, Joe. That's a
But
new
it's,
one on me.
it's acrylic wash. And it's, of course, once you put it down, it's and it dries.
Well, you know, it's just like I told y'all last week. Everybody in the world knows about him except people where he's from here.
Yeah.
You know, because I mean, it never.
And he's the sweetest guy. It really
Oh,
was.
he's really-
pleasant. We just had a
Yeah.
ball.
John doesn't mind us saying all these nice
Where's
things
he?
about him.
He's from Redmond?
Not originally.
Yeah, I don't know where he's from
I don't think
originally,
he's
but
from
look, he's internationally known.
Oh, hey,
Pick
look,
up any of these bird books.
I got a book over there to tell you, he's the most
Yeah.
he's the most widely recognized bird person in the world, and whenever they were going to have a show honoring him, they wouldn't let him have it at the art gallery because they said he's not an artist. And you know, but again, that's their loss, man.
Yeah, it sure
Because it
is.
didn't bother John. John,
No, that's right. He's the kind of guy that I don't.
he's the one that when we went over there, man, just let us.
He gave you the birds, didn't
Hey, you go down there if you want to do a herring, he'd check you out a carcass. You could probably still
he
do
br-
that.
He brought
Yeah.
2 or 3 dead birds with him. Brought a little
he? Does he
Taxidermy
taxidermy stuff?
stuff?
No. He goes to South America, and he'll pull out draw after draw of hummingbirds.
Well, it must be some way you preserve them or something.
Oh yeah, well you know you have to
You see, you-
whatever.
He,
But okay, that's gonna work.
yeah, he brought his parrot, which is alive, and his veterinary's parrot. His parrot's Boudreaux, and the other one's Mindy. Mindy's a Senegal parrot from Africa.
Okay, now we're gonna do up here. So I'm just gonna come in and I'm gonna just put something in here that I think, because I
Yeah.
feel like I need a little bit of.
Yeah.
See, again, a little trick on this. I'll put part of it like that,
Mhm.
and then I'll come back like this, and then, you know, I don't think that these trees had too many limbs on them at all, but we'll do that. And then what, the little thing I learned from Kowski is that you come back in now and then you just hit it with a little highlight like that if you want to break it up. You don't need a whole lot. Look at how it just gives it that little extra sparkle. Now, I'm going to do one other thing here because I think it will. But see, that's all I'm probably going to do on that tree. Because when I get through
That's
now,
all it needs.
I'm going to have a certain amount of the grass growing up on the bottom. And I don't know, I may not have it quite as thick here. I may just have this all low so I can really show that water line coming through here, because that's the next thing I want to pick up on. So this is all I'm going to do on this for right now, and then later I'll decide how much further I want to go on the rest of it. But in the meanwhile, I will come in and maybe put a little bit of, and you know what, one lady picked it out that I made it kind of a fall looking scene, you know, because of the change in leaves as opposed to spring looking in that picture, which is the fun part of doing it. But I was really pleased with the way all this came out. It may need to still be a little bit lighter. See, I'll have a little bit of this coming back behind here. No, why don't we have it just coming in front? Create that
You're
little
not
depth.
gonna lose that when you frame it?
A little bit of it. Whatever. If you lose it, it's not a problem anymore. Okay. Now, and then maybe let's just, for the heck of it, man, let's just get some little.
Oh, look, I have a picture got to have a little red in it.
Let's pick up a little bit of some of that good
Yeah.
stuff like that.
If you're going
See,
to be
when
fall, you might as well be
when it
fall
dries,
all
it's
the
just
way.
gonna really simplify it. Now see, I really like to, while I'm doing this kind of stuff, I really want this to be pretty brilliant. So I'm gonna start like some of this stuff here. That may be too much, you know, but who knows? We'll let it dry and I'll wash a little color over it. All right, but I want to come down to this next part right here because this to me is going to make it, it's going to be to make it or break it. Okay.
You won't trust the arts.
Yeah, so one of these days I'm going to get a pencil. Get my own pencil. All right, let's just get this across here now. Because this water is going to be the thing that makes it or breaks it. Okay, now I think what I'll do, I don't want it quite this bright, I don't think, but let's just see, maybe I do. Maybe I'll just do it a little bit thinner than this. But this will give me a good guideline. The whole key to what I want to do here is I want this to, I'm going to have this like solid white behind here. And I'm going to let it gradually go, because that's going to be what's going to really carry the light. And I'm going to gradually let it go along here and then start picking up a little darker. Then when I get it a lot darker down here, then I'll just put the lighter little strokes in there with this bright green for the lily pad, see? And we should have time to do that tonight.
Yeah, we got 30 minutes, we finished it.
Oh, we could, yeah. Here they are.
So, you gonna put the roadkill in the show? Put that in, you ought to put that in the veterinary show.
They wouldn't take it.
They wouldn't?
How do you know? No, they just.
They don't take anything.
What are they taking there?
So get me a little fresh water if you
Yeah,
don't mind, please.
okay.
I don't know.
You didn't go see
Turn
the
down
show?
me and turn down Joe. Turn
Joe?
down
Well, they turned, yeah.
Sarah.
That's a pretty, you see,
It's a pretty good group.
well, the problem you have there
Covered all
is
types of
that
art.
you really, it's the pool that they have to draw judges from, you know. That's gonna always be against us when you have stuff like that. Thank you, Joe.
In case he wants to paint something kind of a light gray.
Okay. Now, first thing we're gonna do is, well, I tell you what, man, I'm just gonna go for it on this.
Oh, here we go.
Now, new addition, which is probably not on the video. I've always had a very firm opinion about not using black. However, when I read the latest book that's helped me with the chiaroscuro, the artist brought out, everybody's entitled to their opinion, but what would have happened to Vermeer? What would have happened to Rembrandt if they didn't use black? And so then I realized, don't use black has been imprinted on my mind, and it was time to change it.
Yeah.
And you know, when something's imprinted, it's there
You
forever.
know who?
It's a
Un-
dependable dark.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
and
I talked with Mary Jane Cox. She teaches a lot of color classes, and Mary Jane's a sweet lady. I like her a lot. And she uses black.
Yeah.
But she said you just got to know how to
I
use
was
it.
just
That's all.
ahead of time.
Yeah.
I was ahead of the curve.
Yeah, you were.
well, Bruce, I've never known when you weren't ahead
Oh
of
yeah,
the curve.
Yeah, you are. You're the curve. You set
You
the
are
curve.
the curve, man. You know. With Joe, that's all on video. Let's watch one
Oh, I'm sorry.
before we carry that. Oh, man.
No.
Talk about fun. Talk about fun.
Did you put some black with the green?
Not yet.
Okay.
No, I didn't want to do that. No, I just say that for my last
Okay.
thing that I do, Joe.
Okay.
And that was the last thing I did when I did this.
Okay, I got
Now, I got some of it just as dark, but when you're working something wet on wet and you don't have a lot of time,
Mm-hmm.
that's what I was running into. I would, because I can say and mix it pretty black with just about anything.
Oh.
But I didn't want to.
Yeah,
I wanted to get it before it dried, and
Yeah.
that's what made. And what I did is I just put ultramarine blue with it. I put red with it.
Yeah.
Put all these other colors with it. You see, now this is giving me.
I think what people are looking for is not a dead black.
Exactly.
But, black.
Because what's going to happen, see now this I can put it on real black, but the problem when you use the color is the fact that it's not going to, it's just
It
not
ain't
going to
be
stay.
black. No, it's gonna be much lighter.
So we're going to start here. I'm going to get some of my basic colors. And
What color green is that?
that's that Hooker's in the gram that I like to use
That's a good
so
green.
much.
Beautiful green.
The prettiest green that I know of. And I tell you, I feel so fortunate to have, gotten to know it, because there's not many things you can do this today like this, where you can actually call and talk to the person that
Well,
makes
that's
it.
right. And to have we could have easily lost that real pretty Hooker's green.
Oh man,
I'm glad he's got that. format.
you're right. And when I called him about those caps,
Mhm.
the company kind of let him around for a while, And I just kept telling him about it, and he thanked me last time, because he said, man, they sent me a shipment. I sent them back. I told him, get your stuff together, or don't send them to me anymore. And he thanked me when I called him last time. Because they don't know. How they going to know?
No, they don't know.
Here's a guy that they sold him on buying this new type of plastic was supposed to be the best on the market. Then he spent the money and all that kind of stuff. And then it just never happened. I'll tell you something I'm doing now that I really love doing. I'm going with some of my black now. And let's take a little ultramarine blue, a little red with that black. See, what I find is that this stays a little bit too much red. Look at that, man. All right, now see, what we want to do is we want to come in. I'm going to just forget everything here. I'm going to show you why I'm going to do that. I'm going to start it like that, and then I just want to start my patterns. You see, that stays, that's going to stay with us.
Yeah, yeah.
See what I'm going to do? I'm going to just go right. I want this deep, deep, rich. This is, to me, is what's going to make the painting.
Mm-hmm. Boy, when it's that dark and you got it next to that light, and it is really dramatic.
You see how I'm leaving a little bit of that exciting stuff in here. But I got some aces up my sleeve, so.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I hate to say it, Bruce, but certain people are sure a lot quieter tonight than they were last week.
Well, Cherie's not here, that's the
I'm
reason.
not saying that, I know. It's always our fault, I know.
She might hear about that.
She might see it on TV.
Okay, now I'm gonna. See, see now that what this is gonna re-wet it. It's gonna keep it wet to a certain point.
Yeah, you're gonna do the whammy.
How's that?
Then we're gonna get the whammy.
Yeah, that's right.
So that'll dry blotchy like? There'll be some shapes in it?
Sounds like
yeah.
you need some backup in here.
I do, I really do. I don't have Cherie tonight, and it's just kinda getting out of hand.
Ganging up on you.
That's right. And started cheating, using black and everything else.
I know. After years and years of no right.
I'm telling you, when I decide to go down to 2, man, I'm going out.
That's right.
I'm not holding back on anything.
You know, I keep hearing a lot of,
I've heard
Yeah.
more in the last
You know,
3 days
it
than
nervous
I've
you
ever
too.
heard. And
I saw
guess
this.
it does nervous you, doesn't it?
because you just never pay attention to it before, I guess, but I've been hearing
Oh, I knew it, I knew it, I knew it. I just knew that was
my
going
old Mississippi would say, I knowed it.
I knowed it.
Basic.
Look at that.
So I decided these are going to be the key colors that I need to really have in that water
Yeah, because that's what you got in it.
to complement it.
What is
Ah, the foggiest notion.
a big old truck or a strong wind?
Well, I'll tell you what, we didn't have too many of us here last night, and I just locked that door, man. I just feel like I'm a big sissy. I'm gonna be safe and sorry.
We need to make some of that with some lighter color and reflect that.
I don't think we can be too safe right now, Larry.
No, you're right.
Afraid
No, I think that's just. But you know what I'm gonna tell you? I've said this last night. I told Sybil. I said, you know, American people are unbelievable because all the last 2 weeks nobody's ever brought it up. People just come and they forget. And I think that what the biggest thing that happens whenever the conclusion was to go do it, I think that people are relieved, and they're and we're in
It
it.
must be they went and started buying stock.
And you better believe it.
It's all
I
gone.
just believe that, man.
My husband's had the best business week this week that he's had in a long
Oh,
time.
I
They've
get it.
always said war's good for the
I
economy.
sure hope they come tomorrow. The next day, I'm working gallery in St. Francisville tomorrow. The next day, I gotta get 2 good days up there.
Me, I just love hearing all the rhetoric that like Rumsfeld and Schwarzkopf. You heard what he said about us going to war without France?
Oh, no. I
Without
didn't.
Somebody asked Schwarzkopf what he said. Well, how do you feel about going to war without France? And Schwarzkopf says, well, it's kind of like going deer hunting and not taking your accordion. So,
You really don't miss it, huh? Oh, man.
Schwarzkopf said that?
Mhm.
I thought Rumsfeld.
I thought it was Rumsfeld too at first, but then I saw the quote in the paper and it said Schwarzkopf, so I don't know, maybe Rumsfeld copied him or something, I don't know. But, I mean, Rumsfeld
Well,
don't
I
cut
mean,
him
it's
no
just so
slack
rough.
either.
No, he don't.
It's so refreshing.
He's something, isn't he?
Hey, boy, he's a
He's-
crotchety
He has
guy.
really fooled me.
Mhm.
It's just so refreshing to know that we finally got some people that are not scared to just, are not afraid of what everybody in the world's gonna think about them, and they're gonna do what's best for America no matter what, and on and on and on, you know, that's,
Look at that. I knew he was gonna do that. He's gonna pull this off just
Just for
spite.
spite,
Just
Joe,
for
just for
spite.
spite.
yeah, the kind of guy.
No, no.
All right, now, also found me a little tube of, had my last tube up there, if I can, this cadmium orange, man. Ooh, that's not looking bad. What's it look like on the video?
Looks great. Boy, where you get that cad orange and that reflection down there. Jeez. You may get this done in time for the concert.
What I'm hoping for, Joe, is I'm gonna get it done in time to do another one. So I brought this down here and I had Pam, she's just spent all some time just getting all, well, I know just the color I wanna use, and I wanna just wait till you do the bottom of it and all that kind of stuff. And then I'm gonna come down there with another painting with the same colors maybe, but she'll already have that frame cut and everything. She can adapt.
Oh, yeah.
Now, this I think is critical. See, it's dry enough now that I can do this. You notice that there's almost a solid black area right under here. And I just feel like I need that to connect it. Does it look like it's too busy in that water?
No, it isn't dry yet. And when it's dry, it's even
Well,
more
of course, I
spread
can
out.
tone it down a little bit if it is. See, a lot of this I can come back and paint in later. It doesn't, I see a lot of that I thought was gonna be real dark, look at how I lost it. So now I'm gonna come back in and I'm gonna do the final stuff with this black. And some of it I'm gonna let dry. Okay, now I'm gonna come back. All right, now, Joe, one more time. If you get me this, you get me some, how'd you do?
This is clean, nice.
Got your name on the bottom of it? Leave it on your desk. Awesome.
Just leave it on my desk.
Yeah, and I'll get some paper for you, just a little bit, okay?
Very nice.
I'll get some paper and put it on it for you. Then it'll be back in the back of the room when you come back. Man, what y'all think? Now, this last part's the one that I'm really excited about doing because now while I'm waiting on that to dry, though, Joe to get me that water. See him slowing down, he's talking in there and all that. He does me that, man. Y'all think he's can't get good
You don't
help?
think it's a plot, do you?
I definitely think it is. He's nervous, man. You realize what it's gonna mean to him when I pull this thing off? Well, and how long he's trying to and hoping. But one of these things, I'd miss one of these times. Talking about you, Joe.
I can't believe
Well, I thought you just took a mighty long time in there.
While I was fishing.
Okay, now,
Should you put that old dirty brush back in that clean water I just got it.
Don't appreciate nothing.
Okay.
Appreciate nothing.
So I don't want to get too busy with this stuff, but I just like these little razzle
No, a
dazzles.
little touch of it though. Do good. This is one of those if you had the grapevine on it.
Oh, man, there's no telling what would have
Yeah, no
happened, Joe.
telling. Man,
We wouldn't have been able to, no, what I gotta do is I gotta got that grapevine, man.
Probably couldn't stand it.
I gotta find that old grapevine record where I can get my
Appreciate you
hands
doing
on
that.
it.
'Cause we get, especially with these nights with these,
Well,
with
it's-
these big wet on wets.
It's good for the call to order time. you
It
know.
is. It is.
Get everybody on the right track.
He don't clean his palate much better than I do mine.
He thinks he's out of room, but you could find all kind of places to work
Oh,
over there,
I
huh?
made 14 pictures with
Pictures
the
off
amount
of
of
that,
stuff
and
he's got out
that
there.
ain't no lie either.
Why don't we just get just a tiny bit of this pretty orange in there.
Must be in Mississippi.
Hey, there you go. All right with me.
Ooh, boy, he threw that cat orange in there. Ooh, little slip there.
Happy dirt.
It's one of those Floridian slips.
Old Floyd.
Yep. You know what? Since we got so much time left, I'm just gonna try one more.
Well, yeah, you got 15 minutes.
I just gotta don't wanna buy it back now.
No.
Okay, you see now I wanna come in, just soften that edge there a little bit. Okay, now, I'm gonna
Yeah,
do,
that thing
I don't even know what I'm doing, y'all,
shines,
but
doesn't it?
yeah, it really is doing its thing. So I want that to be pure, almost pure white. Now let's come in with a little bit of that yellow. I feel like around this bottom edge, I can come back in maybe. I took all of that out. I may want to put a little bit of it back in.
It would be pretty to have this tree reflected like that one.
This one here?
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what? I put that in there and it all, I'm glad you
Oh,
reminded me
okay.
because
It's
most of
gone,
those
yeah.
came back out, which they generally do the
Yeah.
first time you do it. Yeah, I'm glad you reminded me about that, Joe, because I lost this one completely. Now, the nice thing about this, you can come back after
Oh,
it
yeah.
dries. It may even be a little bit easier. But you're correct. That was one of the, you gotta have a couple of main things in there that break it up a little bit.
There we go.
Okay, now let's just see. So that coming like on this side right here is pretty bright. So now this, I think, you see it's a lot drier.
Oh, yeah.
It's just gonna hold a lot better. So I'm glad you reminded me because see, I lost all that. That's what this is. This is the key to this thing. Get my little.
Look at that point.
So that one was critical.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, man, this is. I gotta watch I don't get too monotonous with them now, but
Repetition with variation.
there you go.
Good night.
Hey, good night.
Joe, so,
Make sure you
thank
get
you.
out to the car. All right, where's your car, girl?
Right here, right?
All right.
See y'all next week.
Good night.
Now, of this is, I don't want too bright. And see this part over here, I think I'm just gonna leave because I got some other stuff to do on it. I'll tell you what, let me just get me a little fresh white. I want that area down here to be quite that dark. So let's just come back here. It's wonderful how you can just come back and do all this stuff. See, I just want to make it even. I don't want that streak. I want it a little darker over at that end. Now see, this I'm going to probably have some grass growing up here and stuff to cover that. I'm not really worried about that part of it. But I am concerned about whether or not I should soften some of this. I think I will while it's wet. Be the easiest way to do it. Make it still keep it uneven.
It's great on television.
All right, thank you.
Look at that. When we get that.
Good night, I'm gonna see you all next week.
Hey, good night.
Thank you, Doc.
Okay.
You got everything?
It always looks better in here than it does on that TV right there.
Now see, let me ask what y'all think about it. As I got over this way, I kind of
Good night. I'll catch you.
let all that. See, I got little trashy stuff in here that I can do a little bit more to break this up. You know, that just looks like. And then I left this purposely a little bit excessive because I'm gonna do whatever I'm gonna do in here, and then I'll soften all that later. But I can always put little things in it. But see, this is where I want to come in now, and I want to catch those. I want to see what I need to do to make those lily pads really stand out. And this may just be enough. I might have to put a little bit of that white in it. But see where I'm coming from there?
Mm-hmm.
Where's gonna put that green?
Well, I thought I'd try to make those lily pads
Oh, yeah, okay.
like that, Joe.
Be a nice little touch.
Well, just to get something to,
Something bright
Maybe
down at that
yeah.
end to turn you around.
exactly, and maybe I should have used the darker color on it, you know, but I think this will.
No, I think that's good.
I like it better. That dirt was a little too orange, I thought. Or
Yeah.
too much of it, one of these.
Exactly. Well, I had it as a backdrop. I wanted it darker. And then as I come down there, now I'm just going to come in with nothing but pure white. And I can't see which, okay. So we'll just, oh yeah, man. Oh. See, always making it where it's getting constantly lighter. As I go closer. Now, so I'm gonna let this dry and touch that up a little bit more. That white, no matter what you're using, is still a little bit tricky. As far as getting it to stand out like
Good
that.
on the monitor.
Oh,
Well, y'all are very kind. I appreciate it.
I'm sorry, we ain't gonna get to
Man, I'm
we gonna
almost
get to
ready.
see this one?
How's that? Oh yeah, Joe, because what I did,
Fisherman, we gonna do the Fisherman?
yeah, I'm not gonna do it tonight.
Okay.
Well, I don't want to keep y'all. It's about 10.
Well,
No.
I'll have a good
What I'm
week.
doing, I have it on, Joe, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna have it on the video. Okay, we'll return to putting some of the finishing touches on our painting here. And maybe we could just bring this in a little bit closer while we're doing this particular part of it. Now you can't see too well what I'm working from, but we're picking up these trees over in this corner that have some interesting reflected light in them. So let's just begin by, first of all, I'd like to come in and get some of my lighter colors, so the violets and so forth like I have in that. go mostly with the blue and red, and a tiny bit of white to it. That gives us close to what we want there. Okay, now what we want to do is, got a couple of those cypress knees. I'm going to put that there. Maybe another one over here like this. I'm going to let that dry a little bit. Now while that's drying, I'll take my blue, red, and green. Excuse me, my green, burnt sienna, green, and blue. Give me a pretty strong dark here. I'm going to add a little black to it to really strengthen it. Now, as I work this area here, I notice that I'm not getting quite the depth I want to get on my trees here, so I'm going to do like I've done in some of the other areas. Mixed a little bit of black with it. Now, I think I had mentioned before, I've never used black in a painting before. And what I like about it is it really allows you to pop in areas very quickly and cleanly. And I decided after reading Vermeer, Rembrandt, a lot of the old masters use black, that even though I was taught not to use it, and haven't used it unless I needed to in certain things in pastel and acrylic, I decided that I would just start using it. And I'm happy I did, because for certain things it works very effectively. I'll come up there like that. Now that's, I was a little concerned about that area there not being distinct enough, and it's really bringing it out very nicely. Now, in addition to that, I want to come in here now, and I want some areas of this to be, excuse me, somewhat darker. Likewise, I want to come up with some plain dark here. Let these kind of disappear. So just by putting that little bit of shadow behind them, I know it's probably not easy to see this too clearly, but I will continue our reflected light. That picks up a little bit nicer, all the way up here like that. Okay, now along with that, I think we can come in and show a little bit darker section in this tree. And for that, we'll just use the ultramarine blue, burnt sienna, and black. Now, you know, you need to remember when you're doing things like this, I'm continually moving around, changing around, using different things. What we want to do is we want to just give the feeling that maybe this is the end of a portion of this. Okay, we'll have this a little darker right under it. Well, that's drier now, so we'll maybe still wait a little bit longer for that to dry. Okay. I realize that this is going to be pretty strong here. Okay, so just bring that on down like that. Now, having done that, I've decided that I like a little bit more reflected light on this side, the base of this. Just trying to do things that allow this to stand out. I just don't want to draw a lot of attention to it. Now I'm just take a little bit of my white and yellow and see what this does up here, because I do want some of these areas to be pretty bright back behind here. So Might be a little bit too bright, but hey, who's counting at a time like this? Just want little touches of highlights. All right, I'm satisfied with that. Now, of course, it's going to dry somewhat lighter. Just kind of let that foliage its way down. I always have a big kick out of that word foliage, or some say foliage. That little 9-year-old child one time, I used the word foliage, and she interrupted me and wasn't rude about it. She just said, "Mr. Kessler," she said, "I wanted you to know something." I said, "What's that?" She said, "Well, you keep using that word foliage over and over again." She says, "I went home and checked the dictionary," and she says, "The correct pronunciation is foliage." So, all right, we can handle that. Okay, now I'm very much more pleased with this. Now I realize some of this hasn't been on the, they say you can fade it out. Some of this has not been on the videotape. That's what I've been looking for. Okay, I want that yellow to come glistening through there. And as we come over here, we'll pick up a little bit more of it. And come way over to the end like this. I'm going to take just the pure white. I really want this to really be brilliant coming in here. I might be overdoing this, but I'd really like to give it a dapple feeling, and the feeling like there's a transition coming down between the light and the dark. Now, see, this initially looks extremely bright until it starts drying, and then it breaks up a little bit. Now, at the base of this, just to make sure we don't have any confusion, just come a little bit lower, mix some of our darker colors, and a lot of this back here I really want to be silhouetted anyhow. We'll bring this on up. Have a little bit more light breaking this up. And you see, when it fades like that, personally, I kind of like it. Oh, that's, I'll look up and see it up there. I really like it a lot better. When it fades, like when you first put it on, it looks a little bit too unrealistic. But then as you continue it and it starts fading and blending with what's under it, it really gives you a really nice effect. Okay, now I think that really gives me the glistening type of a feeling that I wanted in this thing. And in fact, it's separating that area beautifully. I'm very satisfied with it. Take me a little bit of water. Soften some of this. Let it fade in. Okay, I believe I can handle that. Okay, I'm going to let some of the other part dry. Let's go back and get a few more of these trees in. Now I want to come get a little bit more detail. Maybe I shouldn't, but I'm going to. Now see, like down here where I put these, I darken the side of this and lighten it and that type of thing. It's doing every bit of it, but it's doing it in a subdued way. That I really like. Now, see here, I was playing a little while ago with the different values. And we're just going to come in now and just really put a little bit more detail in here. A little bit more in here. And then I might just come in for the heck of it. Just bring me up a little texture over some of this here, just to create a little bit of interest in it. Okay, I think I can live with that. Now, later I'm going to come along and I'm going to put some of the reflections in here, pretty much like what we've got on there. But actually, I'm very satisfied with these trees now. The only thing I'm going to do is I may want to come in and put a couple more branches in. In different places. Break some of that up a little bit more. And not really fool with it a lot. So I think we'll just, because I'm really to the point that I'm going to do this, and then I'm going to come in a minute, and I'm going to put in the Fisherman. Look at what I've got, and I think I'm going to be pretty close to what I would like this to do. I've got some of this drying over here quite a bit, but in the meanwhile, I do have these other areas that I can play with. So I'm getting back in a little bit some of my cooler colors now. Have to mix them with a little bit of white. Okay, now this is much better. And a little bit too bright before. Okay. Lighten some of this a little bit. And, you know, on this kind of stuff, you just jump in and have fun with it and play with it. Remember, you're going to be doing it in several layers. Nothing's final. Now when I get to this point, a lot of times I'm picking up just about every color on the palette, and I'm going to caution you about this, that it's really not that crucial what you use on it. Now what we do have here, is I'm going to take care of that in just a moment, but we have an overgrowth that I'm going to show you and explain to you in a second. But I want to come along here first, and I really like this. Even though this is going to be almost left totally white. I want to give this some continuity here. So we'll just come in like that, soften that edge, put a little water on it now. Not make it too noticeable, because I really want this to be very glistening, very bright. And then this part over here, we really need to just bring the green down slightly. Pick up some of these other colors. Okay, now I just noticed that, for instance, right here, we need to pick up a little something. See, and I'll start picking up my cypress knees. Okay, now we'll continue our little, I'm very pleased with this now. I'm a lot more excited about that bright sunlit area coming in. I can't wait to take the picture back. See, it's going to bring in, and you're going to pick up that light, that bright color there, and then we're going to have the bright color over here. It'll be awesome. Pardon the expression. Okay. Now, next thing I want to do is start focusing in on some of those darker sections. In the cypress, so let's just try to create the feeling of some knees in it, okay? So I'm going to just come down like this. And I'm going to do another one like this. Maybe another one, just give it a little bit more information even than what I have on the picture I'm doing. And then we'll do that, soften those edges. See, again, when you do that and then you come back and you soften it. Now I'm doing this very opaquely. It's a little bit more like an oil painting, to be quite honest with you, than it is a watercolor. So let's just do that little thing to it again there. Okay, now we're going to come down with the blue, red, and the black. Not a lot of this down here we want to lose completely. Okay, now we'll just go up the tree and possibly, now let's come on the outside part of it here. Get all of that black in there. I'll do a few things here to break the tree down. Make it a little bit more interesting. Now I like the idea of coming back in, taking some greens, some different colors that we're using in the composition. It really helps kind of coordinate all the colors together. Okay, now we're in an area that I'd like to pretty up a little bit. So we're going to take a little cadmium red and the burnt sienna. Took a little bit of white with it. Now I don't want this to be, right now it's a little extremely bright. I just want enough to just kind of give a few little things growing here. Break it up, and when that dries it should be subdued somewhat, which would be perfect. Now coming across here with some of our branches, just kind of suggest this going nowhere. Now remember how it was first when we came back and we highlighted. Gotta watch that part, it's still kind of wet. Okay, now I'm really trying to not get too carried away with this area. So let's I feel like I need a little bit more dark in it. So let's just come back in and highlight a few of these darks. Okay. Now, the next thing, so I want this to all be pretty well silhouetted across here. So we're going to go with the blue, the green, and the brown, put a little black in it. So that just lay some basic colors in, we're not worried about too much detail. Now, come back in just one, here's some darker browner looking color. I'll wait for that to dry just a little bit more. Okay. Now we're going to come in, take our white and gray, and let's start on that vest. This is probably going to be a little bit too light. We'll just come across like this and get this established. I can already tell I'm going to have to do a little bit more on this as far as sharpening some of those edges, but I have something special for that in a minute. Now again, this is, I've purposely done this relatively light for the first coat. know for sure that I really got a little carried away with this, with the size of this thing here. So see if we can take some of this out. Yes, ma'am. Come on back. Did you see this one, Ann?
No.
Come see around from the back. I was putting the finishing touches on it now. This is one that I donate
Woo!
to that symphony every year. It was
Oh,
a
yeah.
real bad out, man, and just but it would just came together beautifully.
That's lovely.
Fortunately, I don't have enough
I
time
like
to do
your
another
light.
one.
Yeah, I like your light coming
I
through.
got the Chiaroscuro in it, boy, I tell you.
Yeah, you do.
So with the Chiaroscuro, what happens is your natural way to read it is left to right, okay?
Oh, okay.
And that's, in other words, and if you look at, I got this book somewhere.
Yeah.
And,
I need
and
to
it shows
look
us,
at
you can welcome to look at it.
Yeah.
But it shows how the light always, in a Chiaroscuro, is always left to right, because that's the way you read, okay? But if you use the light coming in like this, and I decided to use it because what I had a problem with is this was confusing. So I wanted this to be L-shaped.
Yeah.
So I grouped
Yeah.
this together like this and did the
I
L-shaped
see.
part of
That
it.
makes sense.
And then I wanted more definition back here, but more importantly, I wanted that light flooding in like this. So in the process of doing this, I accidentally created this area that has this separated, continues on over like this. And then I connected it with this. So what happens is, as your eye floods this way, you have this really nice counter movement with the movement. And then your light flows and it comes here and then it comes here. But what happens when you get to this end of the picture over here, when your light runs out, your eye is automatically going to bring it back this way. You're going to start reading left to right again. So I have it where I'll have my fly rod hitting here, and then the light will bring you here, and it's just going to bring it right back to the center of interest with the person.
That's great.
So it's really very powerful
It is.
stuff. What you got for me
Um,
to look at?
I just was gonna spray this. I think I'm done.
Did it work? Worked okay?
Yeah. I'm just gonna let it air out there for a little bit.
Okay. You notice what I do is initially I'll just paint in these flat colors. Bring it down like this. And then swing it back on. Now some of this I might have a little thick. I'll come down and thin it a little bit and sharpen it. I have a little course I teach. It's called Form and Gesture. It enables you to be able to block these people in very quickly and very easily. Now, while my pigment's still kind of wet, I want to come back behind here. And I'm going to put in the hair part of it. Let that get show through like that. And just basically put a dark in back here. Now, I can already see that the hat is really a little bit bigger than I wanted it to be. this is kind of critical, so I'll come back in like this. And first thing I'll do is maybe knock a little bit off of it here, curve it around, knock it off a little bit over here. And I think the primary thing is I want to have it back like this, maybe a little shorter. We've all seen those fishing hats. Okay, I think that's going to be very close to what I want. Now I can't wait in just a minute. Now you see I'm building this up primarily with shadows. We'll come back around like this. And now I'm going to get a little bit more, because I've got this other color in here pretty clearly. I'm going to get a little bit more of my burnt sienna. Put all this in somewhat darker and lose it. You don't want it recognizable, but I want to lose it. Now, to set the tone for the hat, and the chiaroscuro I want on the hat, I'm just going to come right across the top of it and down. And I'm just going to create this brilliant, brilliant light. And then I'm going to do the same thing around that rim. And so this is my painting now, and I'm going to do whatever I feel like I want to do with it. Now, I'll take a little bit more of this bluish grayish color now. And you don't want to, when you're doing this, you don't want to work it too much, because you're mixing it with pigment that's opaque, that's already dried on there, and if you lift it up too much, it's going to start creating some other problems for you. So we're just going to create it around like this. But again, I'm not interested in it being that dark. I love the prospects of coming across this back here with this brilliant, brilliant light. Come all the way down the whole back. We'll come down like that. And then bring it over. Oh man, I'm satisfied. That's really starting to come out. Now, as much as he's in the shadow, I have a feeling I'm going to have to come back and do a little bit more on some of the other things. But let's see if I can block something in there now for his hand without really showing too much detail. So we're going to kind of come in like this. And just suggest that. I'll put some darker colors and shadows in a moment. Now why don't we take a little bit more of the ultramarine blue, tiny, tiny bit of red, and maybe like under this hat, we'll just proceed to make this just a tiny bit darker. Under that rim like that. There we go. I like that. Now since I did that and I like it so much, I think I'm going to come across the top of it like this. And maybe even a little bit down here. Just enough to create a tiny bit of shadow. I feel like here, I may need to do this with a grayish color, and I want you to notice that when I put this white down, how much it would dry. You don't get discouraged. This white is very opaque. It will cover, but sometimes you have to do a couple of. I didn't take quite as much time preparing it that time, and I'm going to pay the price. So I'm going to have to come back in and go back over it again, but that's all right. Now again, let's put our second coat on this part here. Really, really highlight it. Touch up a few areas like this. I don't know exactly what I want to do on this yet. Now let's come right here. So I'm trying to really keep from doing too much on this. I want to keep the red. I want you to be able to recognize it. But I really want this to be shallow, since he really is in shadow. So we'll get that little bit of extra like that. Maybe even, we're going to have to do some more on that hand. But tone that hand down a bit. Same way with this one. How you coming, man?
All right, how about you? Oh, you're taping it.
How's that?
You're taping it.
Trying to. Deadlines, deadlines, deadlines. You know how it goes. Well, how about got it? You ready? Is that drying on you now? Is it?
Oh, yeah, I'm letting it dry up.
Okay, good. Because when it does, I'm gonna get you other colors for you.
What are the colors? I'm set on colors, Larry.
Did I give you the colors already? You got
I had them from
cobalt. Okay.
first time I.
Cobalt. I didn't remember which ones you had. Oh yeah, that's right. What am I thinking about? Big thing on these is you don't want to do too much detail. What color pants you think you'd have?
I'm sorry?
What color pants you think you'd have? I want to try.
Tan.
Huh?
Tan.
Okay. Let me show you a little something that's fun.
That are dark,
How's that?
kind of olive green
Yeah,
waders.
yeah, that's what. Okay, that's what it looks like in that picture. I want to show you a little thing you do on this. I don't know if I'm gonna make that darker or not yet, but so with a little bit of this. But you can come in sometimes and just pick up some really beautiful reflected light like this. And just something to, oh man, that's pretty now dry and blend right in there. Now, there's always things that I'm trying to figure you'd have that rod like that. That thumb would be out a little bit further. Now, on this, the less you say, the better. You know, whatever you can get away with,
Right.
not overstating it. I'm gonna have, you know, a white highlight here. And that's where this Chiaroscuro over here in this top, oh, look at the how it just brought that sucker out. And I might just pick up a little bit here. Do I put a nose or not? I'm saying right now, no. Somebody wants to get that picky with it. It's just tough.
I finished a drawing up today at work, and my boss looked at it and said, "It's good. It's not loose enough."
Sure enough.
Uh,
That's nice though. But you know, he'd critique it like that.
oh yeah. Oh yeah.
But that's good. So man, you're really getting to do that kind of stuff too, man.
Oh yeah.
Fantastic shit. Well, it's really glad it worked out for you, because you know, as I talked to you before, it's a scary time
Oh yeah.
getting that first job.
And then, you know, then you look, we had they brought a guy in to do a lecture today from Boston. He's won a lot of awards. He's an LSU alum. He graduated about 25 years ago.
Yeah.
He's won a lot of awards. He's a big deal up in Boston on the East Coast. He's been published, and you see the work he's doing, and you sit there and we'll look at the work you're doing here in Baton Rouge, and it's like, oh, man, it's depressing. I mean, he's doing stuff in upstate New York. I bet the landscape alone that he did is over, his
Yeah.
budget's over $1 million.
But you know, Shay, it's just like artwork.
Oh yeah, he probably didn't design anything
It's like,
for 10 years.
yeah, it's like buying the artwork. That when you're in that part of the country where the money is, and these people
Right.
used to spending the money,
Right.
you know, that's always the catch-22 with all this, you know.
Oh yeah. You know, you make some sacrifices
Yeah.
to get certain things. You know, and
But I
being
feel
rich
like
and famous
for
has
your
never been-
situation, man, just getting the, you know, using it as a stepping stone to get experience
right. Oh
is
yeah.
really phenomenal. And I mean, I know you know that, it's not contradicting that, but I just think it's just great, you know, because particularly the kind of things you're telling me you're doing, man,
Oh
that's
yeah.
what's so awesome.
Yeah, I've got a buddy in South Carolina, and he emailed me yesterday, and just fed up with it.
No kidding.
All he's doing is putting stuff in the computer
Mhm.
that people, you know, that other people design. All he's doing is transferring it from paper to computer.
Yeah. That can get frustrating.
Oh yeah. And he's been working there. He's been working 4 months longer than I have. He
Mhm.
started working at the 1st of August.